Sarah Ferguson left out in the cold after losing title in royal home. It's the kind of royal twist that could have come straight from a Netflix drama, but this time, it's painfully real. Once the Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson, affectionately known as Fergie, now finds herself reportedly frozen out of royal life altogether. After decades of scandal, resilience, and attempts at reconciliation, new reports suggest she has lost not only her royal title but also her place within the royal family's inner circle, and even her home. So, how did a woman once adored by the public and married into one of the most powerful families in the world end up here? Let's unravel the story of love, loss, and royal exile that continues to captivate audiences everywhere. From fairy tale to fallout. In 1986, when Sarah Ferguson walked down the aisle at Westminster Abbey to marry Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, she seemed destined for a life of privilege and prestige. Her flame-red hair, down-to-earth humor, and infectious charm made her an instant favorite among the British public. For a while, she and Andrew represented the modern, approachable face of royalty, a refreshing contrast to the formality of the palace. But the fairy tale quickly crumbled. By the early 1990s, the couple's marriage was in trouble, and Fergie's life spiraled into a string of tabloid scandals. The infamous, toe-sucking, photos, her financial struggles, and her outspoken nature made her an easy target for the British press. By 1996, her divorce from Prince Andrew was finalized. With it went her right to be called Her Royal Highness, though she retained the courtesy title, Duchess of York. Still, Fergie remained connected to the royal family through her daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, and through her unusually close relationship with her ex-husband, Prince Andrew. But now, that last lifeline may be slipping away. A royal home lost. For years, Sarah Ferguson had found stability at Royal Lodge, the sprawling Windsor estate that she shared with Prince Andrew. Despite their divorce, the pair continued to live together, a highly unconventional arrangement that both baffled and intrigued royal watchers. They raised their daughters there and maintained a familial bond that persisted through the turbulence of Andrew's scandals. However, the winds at Windsor seem to have shifted. Following King Charles III's ongoing, royal realignment, a process aimed at streamlining the monarchy and cutting unnecessary expenses, reports suggest that Fergie's living situation is no longer secure. Sources close to the palace claim that Prince Andrew has been under pressure to vacate Royal Lodge due to the massive maintenance costs and his dwindling royal role. Without an official position or substantial income, his ability to maintain such an estate has been questioned. And if Andrew goes, Fergie goes too. For a woman who has called Royal Lodge home for nearly 2 decades, that's a devastating blow. It's not just about losing a house, it's about losing the last piece of royal life that still connected her to the family she once called her own. The final break from the firm. Fergie's exclusion from the King's recent royal events hasn't gone unnoticed. Despite attending a few family gatherings earlier this year, she was conspicuously absent from key royal occasions such as Trooping the Colour and state banquets, events she used to attend in the past, if only quietly. The message seems clear: Fergie is no longer part of the firm. Royal insiders suggest that King Charles III has been determined to present a leaner, more focused monarchy centered on working royals, and Sarah Ferguson simply doesn't fit that image. Her past scandals, coupled with her connection to Prince Andrew, whose reputation remains tainted by controversy, make her a liability to the modernized vision of the crown. Even her attempts to rebuild her public image, through writing, charity work, and social media, haven't been enough to change that perception. A life rebuilt, then shaken again. In recent years, Fergie had seemed to turn a corner. She launched a series of successful children's books, became a YouTube storyteller, and even dipped into romance writing. She also found a surprising wave of sympathy from the public, who admired her resilience and candor about her struggles. She spoke openly about her financial woes, her failed marriage, and her mental health battles, making her more relatable than ever before. For many, she represented a survivor who had learned from her mistakes. Her daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, also brought her a renewed sense of pride and stability. Both young women have carved their own paths while maintaining strong ties to their mother. They've spoken fondly of Fergie's influence, describing her as their greatest cheerleader. But even with those personal victories, the royal world that once embraced her seems to be shutting its gates for good. The Prince and the Pariah. It's no secret that Sarah Ferguson has remained deeply loyal to Prince Andrew through his own fall from grace. While much of the royal family distanced themselves after his disastrous 2019 BBC interview and subsequent legal issues, Fergie stood by him. Her unwavering support, while admirable to some, may have cost her any chance at royal redemption. Insiders say that King Charles has drawn a firm line, keeping both Andrew and Sarah at arm's length as he focuses on safeguarding the monarchy's reputation. That decision leaves Fergie in a difficult position, caught between her loyalty to her former husband and her desire for acceptance from the royal family. Unfortunately, it seems that her loyalty has come at the expense of her royal relevance. What comes next for Fergie? Despite being effectively left out in the cold, Sarah Ferguson has proven time and again that she's a survivor. Sources close to her say she's determined to keep going, focusing on her writing, her charity work, and her role as a grandmother to Princess Eugenie's son, August, and Princess Beatrice's daughter, Sienna. She may no longer have a royal title or a royal home, but she still has a platform, and she's using it. Her social media presence continues to attract attention, with fans praising her positive attitude and her candid posts about resilience and kindness. Still, the loss of her home and royal ties marks the end of an era. Fergie's journey has come full circle, from adored duchess to scandalized exile, to beloved comeback figure, and now to quiet outsider once more. A royal tale of reinvention. Sarah Ferguson's story is, in many ways, a cautionary tale, but also an inspiring one. She's made mistakes, faced public humiliation, and endured financial ruin. Yet she's also rebuilt herself, found purpose beyond the palace, and refused to let the world define her by her failures. As she faces this latest chapter, stripped of her title, displaced from her royal home, and distanced from the firm, one can't help but admire her persistence. Fergie may be out in the cold, but she's weathered worse storms before. And if there's one thing history has shown us, it's that Sarah Ferguson never stays down for long.